Hello and welcome all to another episode of the Spooky Spooky Horror Show podcast. I'm your host, Sean. I'm joined again by Anthony. And tonight, we're going to be talking about Terrifier 2, the last of the clown films for this season.
Or
and then
is
we'll
it?
give Anthony a little bit of a break. This should be the last clown film for the season, I think. I don't think there's anything else.
100%. Yes.
Yeah.
This is the last one.
We have, I think, the first 15 films selected for this season, and then obviously we'll pick more. The season will break at the episode 50, 51
Christmas
mark.
Or October.
I think October. Because episode 50 is going to be the Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Yay!
Which we do need to record.
Video game. No.
Oh, no, I like the game. What didn't you like about the game?
Fun. It's for I don't ever play fucking anything first day, and you know that.
Yeah.
It's first day game. It had a lot of bugs. It was kind of clunky. The whole entire way it's played is you're expecting to be like Dead by Daylight, but it isn't. But it does play like it. Like, it's very confusing. But they'll fix it.
Yeah, no, they'll definitely fix it.
That's all.
I had fun playing it. Like, Ryan and I figured out the core mechanics, but I do definitely feel that game is infinitely more fun when you just have a group of friends. And you're just playing with a group of friends.
Your crew.
Because the randoms...
You can do both sides. You can do both sides of it. They have family and then the killer.
Because the randoms that we were playing with, like, already meted the shit out of that game, and there were times we didn't even make it out of the basement. It's like, whoever's playing Leatherface just goes...
Yeah, he came in and said
It's
that. He's like, oh, yeah, we're new. How about we just, like, how to let us hack and slash you? And I immediately got killed less than a couple seconds after we started.
We got off the hooks, and then he was immediately inside the room and killing us.
Yeah.
And it's like, shit like that makes the game unfun.
That's some Call
makes
of
people
Duty
not want to play.
fucking Modern Warfare shit back in the day. That's fucking,
there
no one
needs
wants
to
to play
be
with people like that.
The villains, like the family, should not be that overpowered. They should definitely have some shit to them, but it shouldn't be that overpowered, and they're just way overpowered.
And I've been checking in on it. A lot of people are saying, because they're right now it's maxing at 10, level 10, and there's like a bunch of stuff that it's like they can't go any further.
It's maxing at level 10.
Yeah.
Oh, you mean each character?
They're maxing at 10. They're not really unlocking a lot of the skins and stuff. So it's like, I'm like, well, you're complaining about day one shit. It's gonna get better over the time, but
But before we get into this clown film and give Anthony a break, how has your week been? I see you put up some shelves, doing some decorating.
Yes, I got some shelves up finally. Got some of my little fucking figurine toys, whatever the fuck you guys want to call them, and shit like that. It was pretty fucking cool.
Figures.
Figures and whatnot. It's been an excruciating last 2 weeks. Anything that was on back order from GM came in, and then anything that I quoted out for the previous months where I fucking was behind in bills and I couldn't make any money. Oh yeah, they all came back all in the same fucking week. So it's like, yay, but it's like, I'm so tired. So, my week is actually good. But other than that, I mean, we're chilling. We're doing our thing.
Again, I'm getting back into the swing of editing. So I'm getting the podcast done
pumping
quick.
our podcast out quick. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, besides that, everything's been good, except for the wife woke up today not feeling great. So we didn't know if the podcast was going to be canceled or not, because if I have to take her to the emergency room because like white blood cell drops or fever and shit like that. So
yeah, but first for the show.
Yeah, but she's doing better. She's not nauseous or dizzy. She's hydrated. The fever's going down. But yeah, so that's good. As you said before we started, this is a long movie. I've tried to condense it as much as possible because, as we've both said,
it's like a 2-hour movie.
There's a whole bunch of shit that absolutely could have been cut out, and I hope when Terrifier 3 comes out, they do make all those cuts. I don't want a 2-hour plus movie turning into like a 3-hour podcast of us talking about it. So it's like I tried to cut out stuff while going through it of shit that just didn't matter.
And it's probably going to be the same thing I was saying. It was like, I really don't need to talk about this.
I don't remember. Was there poop in this one? Yes, there was. Never mind.
Yes, there was poop in this one.
Mm-hmm. I think Damien just has a thing with poop. I think that's just like a thing with him. All three of his feature films have like poop scenes. It's like, all right. But all right, let's get into some production facts.
Production fact.
Terrifier 2 originated from a feature film concept Leone began developing shortly after he finished the short film The Ninth Circle, which ended up being turned into the feature film All Hallows Eve. The concept focused heavily on an angel-dressed heroine, but that ultimately fell apart. Following Terrifier 1's release, Damien Leone wanted to bring the heroine angle back. She would eventually evolve into Sienna, someone Leone described as the heart and soul of Terrifier 2. He spent 3 months writing a character-driven screenplay following criticisms from the first film's perceived lack of narrative. This is where I call bullshit.
What?
Okay, the narrative is a clown going on... Yeah, the narrative is a clown going on a killing spree, unknowingly drawing in his final victim of the night, who becomes a killer in her own right at the end/beginning of the film. It's a very simple narrative to follow.
It's not like it's never been done before. It's not like it's never been done before. So that is a terrible critique of this movie. Like, I feel like that was a very... They didn't want to go in and see it. They already had a judgment call.
Yeah, and it's a lot of hoity-toity, like, film critics that go in and sit there and use all sorts of big fancy words to fucking describe stuff, and it's like, you don't even like horror. Why are you reviewing something you don't like? I didn't bring this up the last podcast. It was some of the reviews coming in for Terrifier 1. There's probably I don't want to call them out by name. I'll just say there's these reviewers that when talking about Terrifier said they didn't like it solely based on how misogynistic the film was.
The first one?
Yeah, because of how they treated the women in it. And it's like, everyone died.
So...
Oh, fuck.
Yeah, and also, I didn't see anything to do with I didn't see a rape scene. I didn't see...
I think they
degrading in that way.
I think they were primarily talking about the way, not Tara. What was the other friend's name?
What?
Dana or something like
that? They were flogging him? He flogs everybody. Everybody needs a good flogging.
She was naked and he cut her in half. I think they're like, that's misogynistic.
Film.
I know, exactly.
No,
it's like,
not.
if you can't stomach that, stop it.
The point is so you don't stomach that. That is the point of that. It's to get you to where you feel uncomfortable. That's the point of horror.
When they turned around and they were like, oh, the film was just misogynistic. I used to love their reviews, and I immediately just saw that and went, you know what? I don't need to watch your shit anymore.
The longest reach right there. Oh, God.
Yeah, it was like, if you don't like the film, you don't like the film, but don't start throwing it under saying like the film hates women. It's like, they killed men in grotesque ways. They killed women. It's like, fucking stop it.
The way it was filmed, the shots and the angles are bad. Those are reviews and critique or whatever the fuck it is.
Critique.
Now, what you're just bitching about is you're just trying to bitch for the sake of bitching. That doesn't work.
So it was like, after that, I was like, nah, I can't deal with that shit. So besides the complaints that there was a lack of a narrative, he still managed to get this written. It required obviously a much bigger budget than the first film. So
they definitely got it done.
Yeah, Leone secured financing from...
Dude, the effects are fucking mint.
Yeah. Leone secured financing from private investors prior to filming. He then launched an Indiegogo campaign with a goal of $50,000 to a practical effects driven scene. That's a mouthful.
Okay.
The campaign was...
What does he mean by that? He means as in like more realistic and not CGI,
I'm pretty sure the 50,000 was probably for the scene where the friend gets killed and the mom walks in on her. Yeah. You know the scene.
Okay.
And it's like, if that
I could see that costed a lot.
Yeah.
I feel the whole movie cost a lot because I feel it's really done well. The graphic scenes. Like, it's not just where it's a horror film. This is actually a gore film. I liked it. I was a gore kid growing up.
The campaign was a massive success, reaching over 430% of its initial goal, with donations totaling $250,000. Terrifier 2? Yeah, I know, right?
Cha-ching.
Terrifier 2 ended up being one of numerous films that were impacted by the COVID-19 pandemic. Principal photography was halted mid-2020 due to pandemic lockdowns. The film stars, I don't want to butcher her name because I love her so much. The film stars...
We really are sorry if we fuck up names. We're not good with them.
The film stars Lauren Lavera as Sienna, Elliot Fullman as Jonathan, Kaylee Hyman and Casey Hartnett as Sienna's best friends Brooke and Allie, Amelia McLean as the little pale girl, and David Howard Thornton is back as Art the Clown.
Wait a minute. So they just call her the little pale girl?
Yeah, that's all she's known as. She has a real name, you find out later, but yeah, the character that she plays there is the little pale girl.
That's disappointing. I would figure it'd be a cool ass name.
I mean, that's fine. It released theatrically in the United States on October 6, 2022, becoming a sleeper hit at the box office, grossing $15 million.
God damn. Did we say the budget yet, or is that no, not yet?
We don't know what the initial budget was grabbed from that he locked in from producers, from like outside producers.
So this
but
Indiegogo, what was that again?
Indiegogo itself, he got $250,000 from that.
And he grossed
250,000, and it grossed 15 million.
That's a success right there, I feel.
Yeah. So, what did you think of Terrifier 2?
Oh, 100%. On it, I can't watch it over and over again, strictly because it's like a 2.5 hour long fucking movie. I didn't even get to watch it the first time in one fucking sitting. Like I got to like the last 45 minutes, and I was like, I can't keep my eyes open. Not out of boredom, just it was so fucking long.
Yeah.
But outside the fact that apparently he didn't want to fucking edit much out of this because there's so many scenes you could edit and condense this. Just top notch gore, just gratuitous violence, just perfect. They got some flogging in there. I love flogging when that's involved with us. You know what I mean? I don't really got where the fuck this kid came from, this creepy child character that only he could see, which is by itself fucking weird, but he is a psychopath. That was creepy as fuck too. Like that whole interaction with the little girl. So I recommend if you have the time, throw this on. Do not let your kid watch it until they're older.
Well, I mean, at least with this,
I let him watch a lot of shit, but this is not.
At least with this one, there's no nudity.
I said that. You know, I was watching it, and I'm like,
just
there's
gore.
no tits, because I was watching this while doing plasma donation today, and I'm like, it's just gore. There's no tits in this, and I'm just.
But at the same time, it's like my kid has watched horror movies with like tits and blood and stuff like that.
Yeah, my kid doesn't mind
because it's just tits.
Nakedity.
You know, it's not like it's.
If you don't sexualize, yeah. If you don't over sexualize it in front of your kid, they just go, oh, okay.
Like I said last week, I love this film. This is probably my favorite out of the Terrifier films. I love the lead actress. She was a good actress. I hope she got more shit. Fucking good in this, and that's why when
he acted her ass off.
When news came out that he's planning a Terrifier 3 and he has ideas for like who he wants Art to fight next, I was like, no, I want Sienna back. Sienna is the Laurie Strode of this fucking franchise. Like she has to come back.
Put her in the fucking rotation.
Bring her back. Like absolutely not. I don't want to see shit with some other fucking douchebag that comes in. No, I want Sienna. Exactly. That's who I want. I want just like the scenes where Art and
promise
Sienna,
you it'll work.
Yeah, when the scenes where Art and Sienna are like interacting with each other, and it's like Art just has like this look of disdain on his face whenever like they're interacting. I'm like, oh my god,
he looks pissed. Yeah, he does look like he has a vendetta against her.
Yeah,
but none of us know why. She's like, I don't even know you. Yeah.
Oh god, it's so good. I love this movie. I've seen this movie a lot, and it just recently came out.
And it's very long, people.
And like I said, I wholeheartedly hold Art the Clown in the same like echelon.
He has converted me. I am an art guy. You'll be seeing me soon with some art shirt and
Art the Clown shirts and shit. Yeah. Like
dude, there's the one where he has the fucking the daisy eyes or sunflower eyes.
The sunflower eyes.
And he's doing that. I'm fucking getting that bitch, right? That one looks good.
Yeah, I definitely hold Art the Clown. I hold Art the Clown in the same echelon as Freddy Krueger, Jason Voorhees, shit like that. This is a clown, and especially now that it's kind of moved on from like, oh well, it's just a guy to more of a supernatural thing. It's like,
oh, it is 100%.
It's like, oh, I'm in. Like, make as many as you want. Do not start pumping them out year after year like fucking Saw did, because that shit's just stupid. But if you got a good story to tell with like Art, fucking put Art in, and just make sure Sienna does something. Do not kill her off in the next film. If you want to kill anyone off, kill off the brother character.
She did an amazing
annoying.
Job. He wanted a fucking little, I want to be Art the Clown, but then I'm going to bitch out. Like, you're supposed to be the guy, that guy. And you were like, nah, I'm afraid.
Dude, if you knew nothing about this film, just listening to them say, as like teenagers, Like, she's clearly not she's in her 20s, but she's supposed to be playing a teenager.
Yeah.
But that kid is clearly a teenager, right?
Yeah.
Both of them saying mommy and daddy. Tell me that is not an Italian
sick.
East Coast thing.
I don't like that. Yeah, I don't like that at all. Because
that's all I ever heard from Italians in New York.
Daddy.
It's like,
it's weird.
You're gonna make mommy mad. You're gonna make daddy mad. Like, you're 19 years old.
I think the kiddo said that once the other day.
It's like mom and dad.
Was like, please don't say mommy to me anymore. You're way too old for that.
Yeah, like, come on. But that's just like an East Coast thing, man. It's like, oof. Like, my sister at 30 still says it, and I'm like, it's mom and dad, dude. Like, stop it.
What up, ma? What up, dad? You know, shit like that.
We both love this movie. This movie is fantastic. Everyone should go see this.
It was.
But now, are you ready to get in some plot and spoil the shit out of it?
Bum bum bum. Do this.
Try to speed run.
Get through it and shit. Yeah. Well, it's a lot to compact into it.
Yeah.
Unnecessarily long.
Yeah. So the film opens on what looks like a decaying city. Cops blaring their lights and sirens, kids running around, spray painting things. This is directly after the events of the Miles County massacre from the first film. Art the Clown is somehow resurrected and begins killing again by brutally murdering the coroner investigating his body.
Doesn't it sound like the whole entire scene from Terminator, like the first one? Is that what's happening to him? Like he's portaling over?
I mean, maybe. It's definitely like...
Because I now listen to things with the subtitles on because you're dick ass, which is very, very useful now. So it says like crackling, like electrical crackling. So I'm like, did he like spawn in?
No, I think, just like with the little pale girl, I think that's like a spirit. I think it's like he was a serial killer. And then when he died, whatever brought him back, and now he's just practically unkillable, as we'll see like towards the end.
He's gotten more powerful, people.
Yeah, I think that's like all that it is. But yeah, so while killing the coroner, first he bashes his face in with a hammer, then he rips his eye out, shoves it in his own eye socket, and then starts taunting the coroner with his new eye, and then he proceeds to bash in the dude's head some more before he just rips it in half. So gross.
And just like
so gross.
With the brain.
Art goes to a laundromat to clean his blood-soaked garments when he encounters the little pale girl, a mysteriously sinister entity in a similar clown attire. The lone customer wakes up and sees Art the Clown interacting with himself. At this point, I'm assuming the little girl is like at this point. Like later, we'll figure out. Oh, it's probably something else. But at this point, you're looking. It's like, oh well, he's just crazy, so he's just seeing all of this. So I'm like, okay, it's just a crazy dude being crazy. However, the scene then takes a disgusting turn when the little pale girl starts pissing blood and viscera to Art just sitting there playing patty cake with himself.
Just shitting blood.
It's so fucking gross.
It's so gross. And she's sitting there with a weird ass grin on her face, like, yeah, that felt good.
Yeah. After cleaning himself and his clothes, he redresses and mops the area before we see that he murdered the only customer that was in the laundromat. Why did he stay there when he woke up? You wake up and you see a naked, bloody clown sitting there fucking playing patty cake.
Like, you jump up and run.
I would get the fuck out of there. This dude just stays there long enough to get a fucking broken mop handle shoved down his throat or whatever.
Down his fucking throat.
But now, it's a year later, teenager Sienna Shaw is putting the finishing touches on her Halloween costume, an angel warrior that was designed by her father who recently passed away. Remember this for later. She blew out the candles on her dresser right below the very flammable wings. Why do you have candles surrounding something that can catch fire?
Oh no, hippy shit. I guess that, you know what I mean? I don't know. It was a terrible idea though.
Yeah.
It was a terrible idea to have it there.
She heads downstairs where we meet her mother, who I fucking hate. She's awful. The actor is fine. The character is dog shit.
The character is kind of dick.
The actress is doing a great job of playing a shitty mom. At dinner, Sienna reveals that her brother Jonathan wants to dress up as Art the Clown for Halloween and has become like fixated on him since discovering sketches of him and the victims of the Miles County massacre in his father's sketchbook. I also hate the brother, but this time it's more like I don't like the actor. He's just very whiny. It's definitely definitely he's hitting puberty, so his voice is just doing that thing where you want to punch him in the face. That night,
and he was mad obnoxious at first, and then he like bitched out.
Yeah.
I like the serial killers. Oh no, a serial killer.
Yeah. That night,
Bitch.
Sienna has a nightmare where she encounters Art in the form of a children's
Oh my
show
God.
/ commercial for Clown Cafe
to
and
watch
Art
this movie
Krispies. Dude,
just
this
for this
scene is
fucking
so
scene.
fucking good.
It's so fucking creepy. Oh my, the song. Oh my
Yeah.
God, that song is ridiculous.
Yeah. Maybe next podcast I'll open it with that song.
And play it. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Dude. Let me tell you, this scene is one thing you need to watch the movie for, just to see how this fucking scene went.
The Clown Cafe is fucking disturbing, and honestly,
they say it in the song too.
and honestly,
they're very open in how bad it is.
what the hell is wrong with director creator Damien Leone? Like,
Dude,
this shit
it's
came
not
from
just
his
one
mind.
Film. This isn't one film. This is the second film of 3 films just like this.
Yeah, it's oh god.
What
so
does
Art,
that say about us that we like it?
when Art appears, he starts giving all the people at the Clown Cafe presents, and there's some like kid eating Art Krispies on like a commercial set,
God,
and his mouth
yes.
is like all bloody and gross and shit.
It's supposed to be razor blades, glass, and insects.
Yeah. The last one to get a present is Sienna, who reluctantly takes it and opens it to find a still beating heart. Clown Cafe is fucking disgusting. Again, Art goes back to rummaging through his trash bag like he loves to do, and he pulls out a Tommy gun and starts mowing people down. Sienna manages to crawl away.
Down the
Sienna-
slide.
Yeah. Sienna manages to crawl away down the slide and out over to the Art Krispies set. As Art goes to the singing clown and uses a blowtorch to set her on fire. While
Set
she's
her,
singing.
yeah.
Like, she doesn't stop singing. Like, she's on
Don't
fire.
stop
And she
singing.
just
She
keeps
da
singing.
da da da.
Yeah.
Da, da, da.
It's so fucking
It's
creepy.
just on fire. Didn't miss a beat.
Nope. Art then makes his way to Sienna as she is fumbling in the box of cereal. When Art turns the blowtorch on her, she pulls out her father's sword and blocks the flames. At this point, she wakes up to a fire raging on her dresser,
Fucking
while the sword that was a gift
medieval
from her
shit.
father remains completely unscathed.
Unscathed.
I completely cut out all the shit, like the interaction with her and her mom about the fire, because I'll
Okay,
get into
yeah,
it
yeah.
later
it really
about
doesn't
just how
matter to the
shitty
story.
of a mom she is.
Oh, I mean, but we've all been there because that would have been my parents.
Yeah.
That 100% would have been my parents.
It's basically
There's
just
no reason
her.
to ever believe your child, so
Yeah. But I mean,
they
there
used to
is.
just go with it.
I mean, it is. You raised your child. Like, if you think your child is like that much of a
shitty
psycho,
child, then
then that
fuck?
means it's
Yeah.
you. You're the parent. You did that. So it's like it's just a scene of them fucking arguing and the mom just yelling at her, not listening to a goddamn word she says. It's now Halloween. At school, Jonathan sees his friends behind a dumpster.
Yay.
He finds them
Yeah,
poking
this-
a dead possum. This is gross. His friends call a
And it
girl
wasn't
Jonathan.
even the brother though.
No,
It
no,
wasn't
he
even
just
the
was like,
brother
"What are you
that
guys
did any of
doing?"
this.
And they're like, "It's a dead possum." Fucking idiots. His friends call a girl Jonathan clearly likes over to have her grossed out and run
Yeah,
away, which
that's
causes
fucked up,
horror
man.
icon Felissa Rose to come over and yell at them to get back class. I love whenever I get to see Felissa Rose. She's actually in, I think, another movie that we're doing this year. She's just a
Recovery?
cameo, kind of like this, but like worse because the director's fucking trash. But yeah, so she yells at them to go back to class. In class, Jonathan is checking out Stephanie, feeling a little guilty for not warning her about what she was about to see when he clearly should have. He asks to be excused, and while walking the halls, he spots Art and the little pale girl with the dead possum.
Oh God.
And again, Damien.
This was kind
What
of
is wrong with
this was this gave me a little bit of like
Yeah, you mean when they
It's
started
a-
fucking playing with the goopy inside mess?
it was so fucking the sounds it made. That is the sound of moisture.
Yeah,
That's the
it's-
sound of moist.
that's good sound design. Like I don't know what to tell you.
Oh my God.
They're sitting on the ground playing with the innards and yanking out like a goopy mess. They start eating it and shit. It's all really gross. He ends up dropping his hall pass, which alerts them to his presence, and they throw the possum
Naturally.
at him, which makes me want to vomit. The second it like
I know
on him,
the
I was like,
minute he caught
no.
that, I was like, yeah, exactly. I was like, no. Whole
Jonathan-
movie, I was fine. He had that dude's brain like Jello in his
Yeah.
hand.
I was
I'm
like, oh,
cool.
that's
I'm like,
funny.
that's kind of cool. Yeah, that's kind of cool. This, I was like, no.
No. So
I'm sorry.
Jonathan runs away. They just sit there laughing. He ends up running into the principal as he's trying to get away. She yells at him, but he just keeps running. I think he leaves school, I guess. Maybe. I don't
Bro,
really know.
that fucking principal, bro. I would have taken detention. They
She
did
was
that
hot.
unnecessary. I gotta do this.
Yeah.
And she was Jennifer Aniston from Friends. That shit, man. She was
Yeah.
hot.
I think he leaves because he runs outside. It's clearly daylight that's
Yeah,
hitting him.
yeah.
She goes to see what he was running from and finds the carcass. Meanwhile, Sienna has a panic attack when her friends Allie and Brooke discuss Victoria Hayes' meltdown and the mutilation of the controversial talk show host Monica Brown from Terrifier 1.
Yeah.
Your favorite
Can't say
person.
Monica Brown in front of her.
Sienna and Allie go to the costume shop to search for a replacement pair of wings, where they encounter Art. At this point, we all know what Art the Clown looks like.
Yeah.
And Allie is kind of like, okay, and like walks away taking a phone call. She bumps into him and sees him, and nothing.
Right?
Nothing.
She lived in the same town as this whole entire thing, no?
I think so. If not, like the town.
Yeah. They were still all over the news. There's no way.
Yeah, like that's something that you look and you go, what's this about?
Even as a person in a fucking suit for Halloween, I would still question.
Yeah,
their
I'd still be
fucking-
like, that's why it's
their
like fucking
mentality.
disturbing for the brother to be like, I want to dress as Art. Why?
Yes.
Why would you want to do that? That's fucking
I
stupid.
love the line, oh, well, you don't see people dressing up as Jeffrey Dahmer or stuff. I'm like, oh, yeah,
Like, yes,
you do now.
Yes, you do.
Yeah, you do now.
After he was made attractive by what's his face, everyone's fucking all over that shit.
Yeah. I don't fucking say that shit.
Yeah, so Allie leaves to go take a call from her mom, bumping into Art on the way out, and Art starts to hassle and intimidate Sienna. It's super fucking unnerving. Like, I don't have a thing where I hate clowns, but it's like
He
here
does
I can
crazy,
understand.
weird clown shit.
It's here I
told
can
you it's fucking
understand why
creepy.
you and Jay don't like clowns. Whether it's him just
That
standing
fucking
there by the
horn.
glasses rack with a big fucking smile on his face, or when he's wearing the sunflower glasses, or blowing that party horn or whatever it's called just to be annoying, or just standing next to her,
Just smiling.
slowly raising the horn, and then hugga. Just
that's
like,
so
oh my
fucking
fucking god.
disturbing.
And
Oh
you
my
can
god,
tell-
it's the most menacing.
You can tell that they didn't tell Sienna when he was gonna do it.
Oh, she
because-
jumped. She's like, oh god, yeah. That or she's just, dude. She's a good actor.
Yeah. Either way, all of this super fucking creepy, and I don't know why she didn't just run away. Your costume didn't need the angel wings. They just
What?
didn't. It's like, oh, I'm a Valkyrie fucking angel. Great. You could have not had the wings and still been like a
Or just
warrior
made
or
it
something.
again.
It's like the costume was still dope as shit. Like the wings don't fucking matter. But whatever. She stays. The store clerk ends up yelling at him a couple of times to stop, and then Sienna pays for her stuff and quickly gets out of there. After Sienna leaves, Art locks the shop door and he goes to buy, I think it was the horn.
The horn.
And the guy's like, it's blah 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 amount of money, and then Art goes into his bag and just starts fucking
Nasty
taking stuff out,
bag.
which causes the
Dumps the
fucking dude.
thing.
Yeah, he's like, you fucking stop, and then Art fucking kills
Just
him.
No.
He ends up
course.
decapitating him. Yeah, he decapitates him, and
Yeah.
a little kid comes walking by with his mom trying to get in to find a last minute costume, and
And holding
he's just
it.
like, and everything. He's like, oh, cool, but it's locked, so they end up going to like fucking, I don't know,
Luckily, it's
dollar
locked.
store or something. Yeah, I know, right? Allie and Sienna argue in the convenience store about whether or not that's actually Art the Clown, and this is where I
Yeah.
think this is where we first find out that Sienna has like psych issues. Because up
Yeah.
until this point,
Yeah,
like
about
we
the meds.
didn't know anything, and it's like at this point, it's oh, she's on like meds and was in therapy and shit, probably for her dad's shit. Back home, Jonathan shows Sienna their father's sketchbook that apparently has been missing for a while. It has some of his art in there, but also drawings of Art and his victims. It's also filled with newspaper
He
clippings.
he just now is saying something.
Yeah, it's also filled with newspaper clippings of killings connected to him. This is where it's revealed that the little pale girl was his first victim, named Emily Crane, the daughter of the circus performer whose body was discovered in a makeup trailer. Jonathan believes their father knew how to stop Art, but they don't believe him. I remember last week when we were making fun of I think Tara's friend, where she was like, I just can't on the car. Well, guess
Yeah.
what? I just can't. I just can't with this mom. I just can't.
Fucking
So I'm
dog.
sitting here and just like constantly with like her only role in, like, she's talking normal on a phone, and then everything else is her just yelling. It's
Yeah.
just yelling. It's like, I think there's a point later on where she's like, he's going back to therapy, and it's like, bitch,
Yeah.
you need therapy.
You need
You
to go
were-
with
you-
him.
you
Why
were
are you
at,
so
like,
angry at your kids?
Exactly. Like, you're at like the end of
Like-
your rope. Your kids don't need therapy. You fucking need therapy, because whatever they're
Like, we
learning,
get
they're
that
fucking learning from you.
The husband died, I get it, but you can't be treating your kid that way because they're
Yeah.
not the ones that fucking killed him.
Exactly. Now, importantly, how do you not believe your kid? It's like, you raised him.
Why do your
Do
parents
you
do it?
believe you raised your child to play with dead animals? Do you believe that he was taking a test, got a hall pass to go pee, went around, found a dead animal that
Grab
I'm
a dead
assuming
animal.
I'm assuming the custodian had already cleaned that up, then picked it up, made sure to rub it
was already
all
dead.
over his body, then left it down another hallway as he ran away in terror, bumping into a principal to be caught red-handed. Is she legitimately this terrible of a mother that she turns around and says to Sienna, "You warned me about this kid"? What the fuck is that?
That was like a low blow.
It's your kid. This is the first time, the first time I watched this, I thought, well, maybe she's like their stepmom or something.
No,
and it's like,
mom.
she's pissed that like after the dad died, she's stuck with them now. But no, she gave birth to them. They came out of her. And this is how she acts, like a miserable asshole. It just comes down to, cry me a fucking river. Your husband died. I fucking get it. You have kids that you are responsible for. Your job, first and foremost, is to make sure that they are all right. Instead, her whole attitude through this whole thing, these kids are ruining my life.
Normal.
I don't care what you're going through. It's about me. And it's just, it drives me up a fucking wall.
Been there, done
Jesus fucking Christ. This is the type of parent that when your kids are adults, they cut you the fuck out of their life. It's just, they don't want to be around you. Later, while Allie, the friend, is giving out candy to trick-or-treaters, she's visited by Art, who wants some candy. But candy is for kids, sir. Since he's not taking no for an answer.
I can't understand that, Mr. Scary Clown.
You just give him candy and walk the fuck away. I almost feel like if she just gave him candy, he would have just dipped out. But no, Art doesn't take no for an answer, so she gives him some candy, only to find a ton of weapons in his bag. She quickly shuts the door and watches Art walk away. That doesn't mean that Art walked away, because later that night, Art breaks into Allie's home, where he theatrically mutilates her to death, slicing her... Actually, no, she's not dead. He slices her eye open, he scalps her, he flays her back, breaks off one of her arms while tearing the other one apart. Pouring bleach and salt all over her rooms before ripping off half her face. It's gory. If this is what that $50,000 was supposed to go towards, they fucking spent that so good. So fucking good.
This was one of the most graphic scenes.
Yeah, fucking loved it. But we'll get this out of the way now, because it's like it cuts to other stuff and then it ends up cutting back to this, and it's like it's a complaint I have later for editing choices that I'll get into there, but I'll just get this section out anyway. At some point, Allie's mom gets home and finds her daughter still being mutilated by Art. She just stands there screaming, making noises instead of running away for help, so she's killed. In between that, there's like scenes going on inside Sienna's house and stuff like that. So it's like, instead of talking about that, then talking about bullshit, and then going back to that, I'll just fucking talk about it and get it out of the way. Jonathan is messing around in Sienna's room, playing with her sword. Barbara, that's apparently the mother's name, tries to reprimand him more.
I can't stand the name Barbara.
Yeah, she tries to reprimand him some more, so he tries to show her like his dad's sketchbook. But and like
here's proof, look.
He tries to show her the sketchbook and be like, look, Dad was drawing Art the Clown. It has all the things for the victims and like all the stuff
tied together.
Only for her to throw their dad under the bus and then tear up the sketchbook.
Yeah, obviously, that was so fucking mean.
I'm telling you, this fucking mom.
The daughter could have really used that. She seems to be very attached to her dad in that side of things, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Fucked up mom, man. She's grieving in the wrong way, man.
Yeah, obviously distraught. Jonathan picks up some of the pictures and calls his mom a bitch, which she's being, and she hauls off and cracks him in the face. Jonathan just runs away as she stands there yelling to get back here, because that has ever worked. After you hit a kid, after you hit a kid standing there yelling, get back here, that always works. Later, Barbara finds her car vandalized and immediately blames her son. What the fuck is wrong with this lady? When would he have had time to do this? While he was upstairs and you were downstairs? Or when you slapped him in the face and he ran away from you and left the house, so you were in the house by yourself? When would he have had time to do that much fucking damage? In between all of this, well, before that happened, because obviously she couldn't take the sword with her to a fucking Halloween party, Sienna comes downstairs wearing her costume. She looks hot as hell. This whole costume is just...
Mom's gotta call her a slut.
Yeah, the costume's sexy. He's like, oh, you're showing too much skin. What the fuck do you care? You're a terrible mom anyway. Go get fucking...
fucking horrible.
But yeah, so at this point, she left. At the Halloween party, They're having a good time and everything. Brooke gets some drinks, and then she tells Sienna, after she's having a really good time, that she spiked her drink with MDMA in an attempt to calm her nerves. Yeah. Give her MDMA to calm her nerves at a party where she knows one person. She knows her.
No one.
Because Allie's not going to be there because she's dead. We cut to Jonathan running away from the house.
Here with their boyfriend.
Yeah. Cut to Jonathan running away from his house only to spot the creepy van with the horn being honked. After being scared by some trick-or-treaters, he slowly approaches the van, not seeing anyone inside. As he turns away, the horn is honked again, and when he turns back, pale dead girl is smiling at him. Now he can see the dead pale girl, or the pale dead girl, whatever the fuck her name is supposed to be.
Which nobody could see her now, but he can.
And now he can.
Is he gonna die now? I think that's how that works. If you can see the girl, you can die.
Yeah. So since he's running back home, we'll cut back to Sienna because she's more important anyway. She's having a great time even after Brooke tells her that she spiked her drink, only to realize she missed a ton of calls from her mom, so she decides to call her back. Never call someone back when you're high or drunk. Don't do it. But she does it. As soon as she picks up, Babs just starts flipping the fuck out, ripping into Jonathan about how he's going back to therapy and how both of them are killing her. Even drunk and high.
Me.
But it's like, even drunk and high, Sienna knows her brother wouldn't do that.
And she was pretty calm and collected.
Yeah. But we're talking about a woman that probably should have never been a parent.
Yeah, sometimes,
if we're being honest,
sometimes you just don't have a choice.
Some people just aren't born for it.
Some mistakes.
Because Sienna is telling her to just relax, she starts yelling at her for being drunk. And it's like, honestly, who fucking cares? She's a teenager whose father died and she hasn't been okay with it. How about
and a mom not like helping her get through this?
Yeah. So it's like, how about you just let her be a kid and let your son be a kid for once? And you just sit back, relax in your empty house, and just drink some wine. Just get drunk and fall asleep. How about that? Like, you have nothing you need to worry about. So Sienna tells her mom she loves her and apologizes for not saying it more often. Babs tells her she loves her too and to have fun at the party. After hanging up, she goes back to cleaning, and I'm assuming that this was supposed to be the turning point where you're like, well, maybe she's not that bad. But it doesn't matter.
No.
Yeah. Well, it's like she's been a bitch. And then it's like, oh, well, okay, yeah, no, you know what? You just have fun. And then it's, she wipes the window to the car she's cleaning, and Art's sitting in the car. Scared Babs just stands there as Art shoots her in the face, turning it to mush. This scene is weird to me, only because of the editing. Because the editing is, she wipes the window, revealing Art. Then Art brings up the shotgun and shoots her in. Well, it's a shotgun because it's like sawed off. No, I think it's is it a shotgun?
He had like a two shooting old timey one.
Like a shotgun or
probably
pistol?
A shot off.
Yeah, it's one of them. Whatever. He brings the gun up, shoots her in the face. Boom. Yeah. All of this is fine. Except the head explodes. Then it cuts to Art smiling about like his work. Then it cuts back to the mother's head, hitting the wall with blood splatter. It should have been.
Yeah, it should have just been in the car, not blown off and out the window.
Yeah, it should have been he shoots her in the face explodes, the gore hits the wall, then it cuts back to Art. That's using the footage that we know that they have because it's in the film already. During storyboarding or just on the day, I probably would have grabbed a shot of Art like lingering on the smoke coming out of the barrels, and then following the barrels back to Art, revealing him smiling. But that's just me and how my brain works when I'm writing scripts and storyboarding. Back at the party, Sienna spots. I know. Back at the party, Sienna spots the little pale girl and eventually has a panic attack, falling to the ground. Because, I guess that's stuff. I've only ever had one panic attack, and it was never like that. So I don't know.
Honestly, it's not going to be the same for everybody. Not everybody suffers from the same kind.
It was just weird watching her go, you don't see her? You don't see her? Ah! And then like falling to the ground. It's like, all right. Yeah, so Jonathan returns home. He finds his mother's corpse at the dining room table when Art comes in and chases him around before catching him in Sienna's room, drugging him and kidnapping him, but also steals Sienna's sword in the process. Brooke and her boyfriend, Jeff, drive Sienna home, but the little pale girl impersonates Jonathan over the phone and lures Sienna to the Terrifier. It's a haunted attraction at a now defunct carnival where Art killed the little pale girl / Emily years before.
Dude, that was a terrifying carnival.
Brooke is being a terrible friend, and not just for slipping Sienna Molly. Like, it's not just that, and not just
hey,
not
that can
knowing.
go both ways there, homie.
And
That
not
can go
just
both
knowing,
ways there.
but also not just knowing that she's on meds. However, it should be clear.
You shouldn't allow your friend to do that.
Yeah, exactly. Let's be clear. She fully knew that she was on meds because of the trauma from her dad being sick and dying. She knew this, and her excuse was, "I didn't know you were."
Yeah, a lot of the side effects are death.
Yeah, so it's like you can't be like, "Well, how was I supposed to know?" You're one of her best friends. And you know that she was in therapy. You know that she was on pills. You just saw earlier in the day that she had a freak out at school. Clearly, she's on meds. Like, what are you talking about? Like, fuck, whatever, man.
Terrible friend alert. Whoop, whoop, whoop.
She's a terrible friend because she isn't worried at all about her friend or her health, but more about the fact that she just had her night ruined. Yeah. So, they get to the amusement park. Sienna gets out and she's like, I'm just gonna go. And she's like, that's stupid. And she's like, well, it's my brother, I'm gonna go. So she goes searching for her brother. Brooke and Jeff fuck around in the car doing coke. Besides the coke shit, Jeff seems to be like the only one with a semblance of a brain. He knows that she's been through a lot and that they should go look for her, or at least go with her. But Brooke is just awful and it's like, nah. We do find out though that the thing with her dad is it was a brain tumor and it was a lot worse than we knew.
Yeah.
Towards the end, apparently he got very abusive and was focusing it all on Sienna. So things with her and her dad were really fucking bad, which is why I guess
Towards
the book
end.
Yeah, which is why I'm assuming that book is really important to Sienna because it's like the only thing she really has of her dad.
Shared it.
Yeah.
That was positive. We can all relate with that.
No. And then the mother fucking destroyed it like a fucking bitch, but whatever. We learned that the day her father died, he got super plastered on Jackie D and crashed his car, slowly burning to death in it. They said that you could hear her father's screams for miles and everything.
That's fucking terrible, man.
Yeah. So it's not like, oh, well, he died. No. He died because I think
murder.
I think it said he crashed into
a wall.
Fuck, it was either a power pole or a transformer or something like that. Because I think power got knocked out, and you could hear his screams for help and pain and agony.
Yeah. While
he died, so it's like you could hear it for miles. So again, how do you, as one of her best friends, not realize she's probably on meds? It just doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. You're a terrible friend. That's all that it comes down to. Well, now Jeff doesn't care about Sienna because he's about to get his dick wet. But now Brooke suddenly wants to be a good friend and tells him that she's worried and wants to call her. Jeff goes to pee, and after scaring Brooke, she threatens to waste his drugs unless he apologizes, which he does because you don't waste coke.
Oh, you don't.
And then goes to finish peeing. Art sneaks up on him where he castrates him and then kills him. Brooke sees all this going down, and Art tries to get her, but Brooke manages to get away a little bit. I think she gets sliced on the leg, which slows her down, which I don't know why that would slow you down that much. Like it was that deep, but it's whatever. Brooke manages to kick him in the face, knock him away, and she escapes into the park. As he chases her into the haunted attraction, eventually cornering her in a gross-ass fucking poopy bloody bathroom, where he throws acid in her face and eventually bludgeons her to death.
Underwear in the trash got me.
Yeah. That's what got you? Not everything else that's all over the wall.
No,
because
I have pulled junkies out of bathrooms from that ODing at work. You know, like it didn't bother. Well, it bothered me, but I've seen it. The underwear. I will never get okay seeing another human, males usually, underwear with just shit stains and blood in the garbage. Like, what happened to him? That
fucking disgusting.
It's just fucking gross. It's just fucking nasty. It's insane.
Art ends up eating Brooke's heart. Sienna eventually finds Brooke's.
What was that?
He's a cannibal now. Well, no, because he ate Vicky's face.
Yes, actually,
so maybe that's just something that he does.
From time to time.
Yeah. So Sienna eventually finds. Well, because you notice, like, he was in the first one. Was he was stabbed in the eye, right?
In Ninth Circle?
No. In Terrifier 1, he was stabbed in the eye. besides the fact that the gunshot wound to his head is all healed, you realize that like when
I
he first got
know,
up and he put the doctor's eye in his empty eye socket and was like, "Ah," and then took it out and dropped it, that now he has an eye. You realize that, right?
Yeah.
He like
I
reformed.
said the same thing.
So
Like
it's
I
like
said, when
he's supernatural
human
now.
beings, he gets some shit to pop up. Like,
Maybe.
it's weird.
Sienna eventually finds Brooke's corpse. Art is about to attack her when she spots Jonathan in the doorway and tells him to run. This distracted Art long enough for her to grab Brooke's weapon and attack Art. The fight does not go her way, and Art knocks her unconscious very violently. Jonathan runs and hides, but, there's no hiding from Art. Sienna ends up coming to. She crawls to one of the stalls and finds Art's shrapnel table leg, right? It was the table leg with all the shit in it, right?
Yeah, in the bathroom, they had that weird blob thing with all the eyeballs in the sink.
Yeah. Art catches up to Jonathan and starts slicing at him with the scalpel, but Sienna comes up and rescues him by bashing Art in the head. They escape, but can't go far.
She did a good fight there.
Yeah, she's fucking badass. We love Sienna. They escape, but can't go far because her leg is all fucked up. Sienna grabs another blunt weapon, and they try to find a way out. Sienna is hiding now, I think.
Or attempting to hide.
I don't know what this is because her brother is just out in the open. And she like hides, but the brother's just... So was she using the brother as bait?
I know, it didn't look like that at all. She looked kind of concerned about it. Why was he sitting like that?
So then why the fuck was she hiding?
I think she was trying to see where Art... I guess at that point she made a decision. His life had to be used for bait.
Yeah. Art sneaks up on him and begins beating him with the cat of nine tails, one of your favorite weapons. She jumps on top of her brother, taking the beating form, only to eat that beating and eventually overpower Art, and she begins attacking him with his own weapons.
Mm-hmm.
Eventually, Sienna stabs Art in the head with rebar, only for him to spring right back to life and begin choking her out. This time, the choking looks real.
Yeah.
Not that, oh, I'm choking you.
No.
Oh, here,
and talking back to you, no, like he was choking to die.
I'm choking you. Oh, look at that, I'm choking you. Oh, look at that. There's none of that. This time it's a real choke. Jonathan, bless his tiny fucking malnourished heart. He tries to push Art off of him and is immediately thrown to the ground. This time Jonathan goes for Art's gun and shoots him in the head. Jonathan tries to wake her up. She opens her eyes and she's sitting in front of her mom. I have no idea how they managed to get like this far away from each other. But when he gets her to come to her senses and the ghost mom gives her a vision of what happened to her, causing her to break down again, when she finally like wakes up and she's out of everything, Art's standing over her unconscious brother, way away, like super far away
from her.
And I'm like, how did all of this happen? It's like, I don't fucking know. She runs up to Art to get him to like stop him, but she's just resorted to that pathetic like pounding on the chest, like oh, like type bullshit. And it's like, all right, I guess she's done. She's got nothing left. This leads to him choking her for a while before she spits in his face.
Which I'm sorry, I don't think she'll be able to get that out.
Yeah, I know, but he throws her into that fucking pit. And this is where I was just like, this is why you need to bring. She lands hard, but this is what this is the exact scene.
Acting.
This is the exact scene where I'm like, no, he is Michael Myers, she is Laurie Strode. You cannot bring someone else into this shit, because when he throws her down and she's just out, and he stands there and then just squats down and stares at her, you can see like the malice in his face. Like he's never been like angry. He's always joyous and stuff. But he looks down at her and he fucking hates her
so hard on me
that he just looks and he just and just spits down at her. And it's like, fuck. Like Art has never gone out of his way to be like get revenge, but like he fucking hates Sienna. And it's like, you have to bring Sienna back. Like, there has to be more fights between them.
Oh, I would think that they would. We don't know too much about the third.
Yeah. Sienna gets to her feet and finds a glowing red hole. She looks into this creepy-ass glowing red hole in the ground, and Art appears behind her and stabs her with her father's sword. Art throws her into the red hole thing with the sword. I think with the sword. I think the sword is left out.
No, the sword's outside.
Yeah, the sword is left on the floor.
Above ground. Yeah.
And the red hole turns into a water torture trap that's on the set of Clown Cafe.
Clown
While
Cafe.
we're there, we still see the singer on fire, and the rest of the cast is dead,
all
but still
fucked
playing.
up and all messed up, man.
Sienna
Horrible.
dies
Horror.
by drowning,
Horror.
and everyone else once she dies, everyone else stops moving. Art is just munching on Jonathan's hand when he wakes up screaming for his sister's help. Sienna mysteriously resurrects by, I guess, the sword before
Power of the sword.
Yeah, so she's mysteriously
father's
resurrected
blade.
by the sword and frees herself and climbs out of the tank, and she stabs Art in the back as he's chewing on her brother's ankle. As he tries to get away, she just follows him, just continuously stabbing him. She stands over him, building up for this big final blow, and Art is just fucking mean mugging the shit out of her because he hates her.
Yup.
He fucking hates Sienna. He
wants
hates
to
her
fucking
more
rip
than
her
he hates
apart.
anything else. And then he just puts on a big smile and presents his neck, and she decapitates him very slowly by repeatedly chopping through his neck.
Hacking.
After going to Jonathan, the little pale girl takes Art's head as it's apparently whispering into her
Trophy or
ear,
something? Yeah, I know.
and then she just leaves Sienna and Jonathan without attacking. In the mid-credit scene, we meet wrestling icon Chris Jericho and some other nurse at the insane asylum, who, after checking IMDb, the female nurse is the Clown Cafe singer.
Oh, okay.
That's her. She had a dual role. We see an institutionalized Victoria throwing up before writing Vicky plus Art and then some random obscenities on the wall with her blood. She then gives birth to Art's living head, leaving the horrified nurse that finds her screaming. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the end of Terrifier 2.
It's a good
Fun
movie.
facts. If IMDb
There
is to
are
be
none.
believed. No, there's
It better be.
Oh.
It was a grossly high film.
Yeah, there's some. As Sienna, played by Lauren Levera, is a trained martial artist. She did most of her own stunts in the movie. The scene
she's a trained martial artist?
Yeah. The scenes shot in the Terrifier haunted house were filmed at a real haunted house called Fright Factory in Philadelphia.
Dude, it was fucking pretty horrible looking fucking thing.
Yeah.
It was scary.
They didn't need to build any sets for those scenes. They just used what was already available to them in the haunted house. David Howard Thornton, who plays the silent Art the Clown, did in fact have a speaking role. He did a voiceover for Art Crispy's cereal commercial during the dream sequence.
Oh.
It was announced in June 2020 that filming of Terrifier 2 began in October 2019 and was almost complete when the world went into quarantine. So they were almost done, and then it was like, nah, we gotta fucking
Yeah, we gotta fucking
Stephen King gave Terrifier 2 a shout out on Twitter saying, Terrifier 2 grossing you out old school. Director and special effects Director and special effects supervisor Damien Leone stated the most complex kill scene to shoot was the alley kill scene in the bedroom. They were shooting the scene for 2 days when the COVID pandemic hit, and all filming had to temporarily be halted. Leone used that time to redesign the kill and prepare the special effects for when they could resume shooting again. All the previous shot material was scrapped, and the new scene was shot over 2 weeks.
Oh, good for them, because that came out good. Came out gory.
Leone credits Casey Hartnett for relentlessly screaming throughout the long shoot, which really sold the horror. In the end scene where Allie's mother discovers Art mutilating Allie's body, Leone built a life-size animatronic dummy of her. The whole room was a built set, while operators used rods under the bed and behind the wall to move the dummy. He used rubber gloves with tubing in her chest to make it appear to be beating. When David Howard Thornton, who plays Art the Clown, saw the realistic dummy come to life for the first time, he said that it scared him so much he soiled himself. While the film's effects are 99% practical, director Leone stated that he did use digital effects in certain scenes. When Ricky, the costume shop worker, gets killed, Leone had the actor's face, who plays Ricky, digitally put into onto a fake head. This was to show the eyeballs opening and closing and the face twitches. The other kills where digital effects were used in the now infamous bedroom scene. Leone digitally put the actress's real eyeballs on the dummy, so when she wakes up and the eyes like open, it's not like a dummy doing it, it's the real actress's eyes doing it. The acid that Art the Clown took from the morgue and later threw on Brooke's face was fluoro and fluoro.
Oh, I don't know how to say that.
Fluoroantimonic acid, which is known as a super acid and is one of the strongest acids in the world. Coming into direct contact with it would likely kill you. Art the Clown was originally going to be seen smoking one of Brooke's cigarettes after he killed her, in a way similar to how some people might have like a cigarette after sex. This is the only reason why Brooke was made to be a smoker.
So then they ended up not even having that scene.
Yeah. So that's it for fun facts. What
Great
did
movie.
you think of Terrifier 2?
It's a fucking
Spoiler
great
free.
movie.
5 out of 5?
Great movie. Oh yeah.
5 out of 5. That's.
I would
I
watch
think-
it again only if I have enough time because it's very long.
But you realize that 2 of Damien Leone's films are 5 out of 5s.
Well, the third one probably gonna be the same.
Yeah. So it's I think
The
All
Art the
Hallows
Clown,
Eve.
the actor that does Art the Clown, he's still alive, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
then he's definitely gonna.
But
have
it's like All Hallows Eve, I think was 4 out of 5. It was either 3 or 4, and then Terrifier 1 and Terrifier 2 are 5 out of 5s.
Yes. I
So-
mean, you gotta call a spade here. It's a good fucking film.
So yeah, for like my little thoughts I have written here, I've seen things that the director knows, like who he wants for the epic fight, like I said earlier. But for me, Lauren, like she made this movie.
Oh
Like,
my god, she was
her-
an amazing heroine.
Her dynamic with Art, it's
the clown, the
it's-
brother.
yeah, it's
with the
fucking
mom.
great. It's like
I'm sorry,
now,
her scenes with the fights and when she landed on her back and
Yeah.
into the hole, those were some really good acting scenes. Like you
Yeah.
you knew that feeling that she had at that moment because you felt it once.
Yeah. So it's like I'm officially a ride or die for Laura Rivera. Like if she's in something, I will
Has
watch
she
it.
been in anything else?
She's been in some stuff. I went through her IMDb and I've slowly started watching more and more stuff. But yeah, like I love this movie. The gore in this movie is fucking fantastic.
Phenomenal.
The acting, even when like you fucking hate the character, the acting itself is still good.
Yeah, it's never about the acting. It's just about the character.
Yeah. I really don't know what else to say about it. Like the movie's good. Like go watch this movie. I would say go out.
I mean, on the
like,
side that
buy
if
the
you're
movie.
afraid of clowns,
Yeah.
on the side if you're afraid of clowns, if it's a full-on phobia, don't watch it, clearly.
Yeah.
But if you're like someone that like can withstand it, but it's like you're freaked out, like me,
Like if you can watch
it.
like
watch it.
like it, you
you
can
can
watch
definitely
this.
watch those.
But yeah, like I said, I love this movie. This movie is fucking fantastic.
I can put it in the whole entire rewatch bank with Hell House LLC. Is that it?
Yeah, I was watching
that's
that
what it's
last
called?
night, by the way.
Ah, nice.
Yeah,
I gotta rewatch that again.
I was watching the director's
listen,
cut
people need to use Tubi and Pluto a lot more often than what
Yeah.
they do.
because like if
They
if
need
you're
to more
not,
play.
I would say any of these films, a lot of these films that we watch, they're free on like Tubi and stuff like that. If you like the film, buy the DVD, buy it digitally, like do
So they
that.
can make another
support
movie.
them. That's like before I even saw the film, because I saw Terrifier and I was like, I like Terrifier. I saw that they were selling a special edition, like 4K ultra fucking
Nice.
HD fucking
Collector's
copy. I was like,
edition.
I'm fucking buying it. I want it the second it comes out. So like I did that, but yeah, definitely anytime I'm trying to type in, anytime you see any of these films that you're like, this is a really good film, you support it, buy it anywhere. If you're
Yeah.
not a physical media person, buy it digitally, buy it on Amazon Prime Video, buy it on Vudu. So next week's film is Disturbing
Oh.
Behavior.
Disturbing Behavior. That is a cult classic right there.
Yep.
90s or is that early 2000? I think that's 2000.
1998. Yeah.
They're old. Bro.
Yeah, we're
They're
old.
old.
We're old and they're
God.
older.
They are older.
Yeah.
Jeez. They've had
Yeah.
their scandals already and been past them.
Yeah.
Oh
Um,
my god.
But
Good movie though, guys. If for you younger people that haven't been like able to see all of our great 90s and 80s movies, definitely see this one. And The
Bro,
Faculty. That was
bro,
another really good one.
As I was writing the script for Disturbed Behavior, which my kid comes in and he's like, he sees me the other day. I'm like, I'm touching up one of the scripts, and he's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "I'm working on the script for the podcast."
I'm true.
And he goes,
Yeah.
"You have a script for your podcast?" I was like, "Yes." I'm having to like write reviews, get production facts, break down the fucking plot of the movie and like the scenes, and it's like I have to do all that. He fucking
Like-
he sits there and he goes, "I thought a podcast was just like a couple of friends sit around and they just like talk about
See,
nothing."
these kids don't know where
I was like, "This isn't Seinfeld. This is a movie review
Yes.
podcast. We're talking about
It's
horror
not a
movies. I
podcast
need to
about
have
nothing.
stuff." It's like
We're
this
not in
isn't
the
one
just
where you sit
chatting
down and go,
category.
"Hey guys, what's going on?" and everything. I was like, "That's two stupid dudes that we still haven't launched yet." Okay, that's what that
Yeah.
one is. But yeah, while I was writing this one, I was like, I'm sitting there and I'm like, fuck, we're like 10 minutes in and there have already been like 4 banger songs. Just one right after the other after another. The fucking soundtrack to this movie is just fucking amazing. I started downloading.
I know. I was like, it shot so much like if it was an 80s horror film.
But that is it for the Spooky Horror Show podcast this week. We'll be back next Saturday. Thank you everybody very much. We will see you next week.
Yeah, guys.